Chapter 12. Ikem spends time using public places after his dismissal to make his opinion known, and his popularity keeps soaring and growing. He becomes a favorite among the intellectuals and students in Basa. He's about to give a lecture at the University of Basa, but there is a delay because the microphones aren't working properly. He begins with a story told to him by the old man who happened to be in prison, in the maximum prison in Basa, because storytellers are always a threat to the society and to dictators. They threaten all champions on control, they frighten usurpers of the right to freedom of the human spirit in state, church, or mosque, in party congress, in the university, or wherever they find themselves. He remembers a speech he had given at the invitation at the Basa Rotary Club for a charity luncheon where he had been chased out because of his speech. Contrary to what the organizers had expected from him, he had told them that charity is the opium of the privileged. From the good citizen who habitually drops 10 kobo from his loose change and from his safe height above the bowl of a leper outside the supermarket. He had ended his talk with, "While we do our good works, let us not forget that the resolution lies in the world and in which charity will have become unnecessary." According to Ikem, there is no need for charity because there is more than enough for everybody to live on. The lecture at the university is witty and engaging as he attacks workers who only strike when their privileges are tampered with, leaders who cannot give proper account of money collected every month, and congressmen who never speak again, against absenteeism or ghost workers, etc. He refers to this group of public servants as plain parasites, and he had written a bitter editorial on the eve of their annual Congress. He does not want to tell the population what to do, but simply he expresses the reality for self-examination. He says, "I want to instead to excite general enlightenment by forcing all to examine the condition of their lives because, as the saying goes, the unexamined life is not worth living." He also blames the problems of the people on external factors, capitalism and imperialism, but wants Africans to tackle the root causes when he says, "If you want to get to the root of a murder, you have to look for the blacksmith who made the machete." He lambasts the fraud and incompetence that characterizes African societies. He tackles fraud, which is even at the grassroots, like the student union, where there is tribalism, religious extremism, electoral merchandising, kidnap of opponents, etc., etc. The presentation that he gives about the society of Kangang is one which is totally corrupt to the core. In a moralizing tone, he blames Africans for their demise when he lashes out to blame all the things on imperialism and international capitalism, as our modish radicals want to do, is, in my view, sheer cant and humbug. To him, he believes that the problems about African societies is about Africans themselves, and that is why he advocates for a change of mentality. He believes that the critic or the writer only awakens the consciences of the people, and it is left for the people to take the decision that they want to take. The suspension of Ike as editor of the National Gazette gives him access to the public to express his ideas and increases his popularity. He is now free to do whatever thing he wants without minding what will become. Ironically, it puts his life in danger. The Tortoise and the Leopard, a political meditation on the imperative of struggle. That is the title of the paper which he presents at the University of Basa. The listeners are excited to urge him to continue when the meditation comes to an end. but he encourages them to ask questions. His indication that workers, leaders, are parasites. He tells his audience that he cannot give them a resolution but to make them examine their lives. He does not want to buy the theory of blaming foreign powers, but that pushing back the responsibility of the underdevelopment of African countries to Africans themselves. And Africans themselves are responsible because they prosper in fraud. He advises Africans should tackle the root cause to their problems rather than to continue to lay blames to the white men for no good reason. He believes that the change can come from within, and this can only be done with a change of mentality.